Hey guys, this is Brian from Nintendo Game Point Plus, and today I'm going to be talking about the recent Pokemon Direct that just premiered today, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts, ideas, and impressions, basically what I felt from it, how the announcements were, and we're going to talk about it. And I got Score Bunny on screen, because Score Bunny's awesome. What of it? But yeah, let's start with, I'm just going to go in order of I'm not necessarily with the direct shows. I'm just going to talk about kind of in order of announcements that I kind of feel were interesting and important. And I guess I'll save the big talk about the expansion for later. But let's first talk about the first announcement that they showed, which was the announcement of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, which is a brand new Pokemon game in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, which is a spin-off RPG of Pokemon. Which is hard to say because Pokemon's already an RPG, but this one's very much different. And unlike the other games where it's very turn-based, this one's more line turn-based, for lack of a better word. I think the better word is real-time. I believe it's real-time. When it comes to RPGs, I know very few in terms of details, but yeah, you go in this game. It's, of course, one of the biggest things about this game is that every Pokemon isn't just your normal Pokemon. They all talk and communicate with each other. You apparently turn into a Pokemon, and now you have to interact with all these other Pokemon and try to save the whole Pokemon area that you're in. Yeah, this one looks great. It's actually a remake of the original Game Boy Advance title, which is the second one we've gotten on Nintendo Switch. Now that I think about it, because just last year we got Link's Awakening. And now we're getting another one. I mean, hey, fine. Like people on like remakes, like I don't know about remake stuff. Hey, look, if you're remaking a good game, and if it's the same people remaking that game, it's not like movies where if you remake a movie and you gotta worry about who's directing, who's doing this, who's doing that. It's like you remaking a game. It's the same people who made the original game, or at least the same company, anyways. And you got a good idea of what made that game good. So you know what? That's fine. Not to mention the game, come on, visually looks good. It looks good visually. Huh, what a shock. But yeah, so Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, it actually comes out March 6th. March is packed this year for Switch. We got freaking, what's the name? We got this game, we got Animal Crossing coming out next year. I guess March is just, we're just drop everything in March. Jeez, man, we just dropping everything in March. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game, and I hope it gets some good credit. I hope it gets good press. I hope it doesn't kind of just fall under and just be like, oh hey, it's a random title that released. Yeah, so Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I'll probably get a play. The next thing I'm gonna talk about, not necessarily what was next shown, is an update about Pokemon Home. To those who don't know, it's Pokemon Home is the new Pokemon Cloud service, pretty much, where if you had like Pokemon Bank on 3DS, or if you have new Pokemon that you got from like Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can take all those Pokemon and store them in one place, and they're all safe to hold and everything. So yeah, that's a new service that's happening. They said it was releasing in February. They didn't really give much other details, except really it's just as long as the Pokemon also exist in Sword and Shield, you can transfer them into Sword and Shield through the other upcoming updates. And basically, yeah, Pokemon Home, store all your Pokemon. That's pretty much what we all knew. And yeah, I think Pokemon Home is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a good service to have, especially considering with the whole National Dex thing. That's a whole nother can of worms, but yeah, I really want to know about Pokemon Home, but I know one thing, come February, the minute that thing gets released, everybody's 3DS is going out the window, because does anyone play their 3D? I mean, I know people play the 3DS, I know people still buying it, I know there's some people out there who really want the 3DSs, but let's be honest with ourselves. Who here just keeps the 3DS around because that's the only place that you can keep your Pokemon right now? Let's be honest. Can we be honest with ourselves and say we do that? Let's say we do that. Anyways, let's finally get on to the big meat and potatoes of the Direct. Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass. The Isle of Armor and the cold tundra, the frozen tundra. It's the cool tundra. Crap. Why don't I remember the name? Because it sounded cool. It was like yellow and green too, and that was really interesting. But yeah, so we got Pokemon games coming to. We got a Pokemon expansion pass, and they actually, something I really like them talking about is they pretty much explain what this expansion pass is. Basically, in the past with Pokemon games have always done this thing. They release the mainline next-gen games in like Sun and Moon. They release Diamond and Pearl. They released X and Y. They released, they release these games, and usually down the line they release like a substantial secondary game that's pretty similar to an expansion pass, like Pokemon Platinum, Pokemon what's it good? Black and White 2, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And for the longest time, this has kind of been how Pokemon's been operating. We got your big game, then you got your side expansion game that gives you a few more Pokemon that you gotta buy a whole nother game cart for. Pretty much, this expansion pretty much kind of replaces that for Sword and Shield. And you know what? It's fine by me. I like that they did this. I like this because this seems like a natural step in terms of Pokemon. Because let's be honest, I always, if I want to be honest, I always felt like that was what those side games were. Not saying that they weren't good, because that's far from the truth. It's just that I always felt that's what these side games were. Like expansion packs that you had to buy another thing for. So I like it that because this is clearly a DLC, that means they're clearly building it from the same thing, and they can just integrate it right into a new Pokemon game. And because they have this, it doesn't feel like I have to buy a whole separate game for something. Because that's why I feel like it felt like there was nothing really as substantial in those games, like in those side games, because it felt like, oh, because it's a side game set in the same universe, we kind of have to change a few things and then slowly update it. And I don't know. I feel like this expansion pass idea really helps cement the idea that this is a side thing, but it's still important. And as it integrates with the normal game, it just feels better, and it makes a lot more sense, especially in an age now we got digital updates to everything. We got updated passes and DLC. It makes sense for Pokemon. I'm saying, I know people are going to be a little iffy about it because, oh no, Pokemon, oh no, we got to pay for Pokemon, oh no, DLC. It's fine. I think it's fine. And ultimately, I just feel like it makes sense for Pokemon. Let's talk about the expansion passes themselves. Oh my gosh, they look pretty. Like, oh my gosh, they look really pretty. Like, I think this game, in general, Pokemon Sword, looks great. The expansion passes just look so cool too. Like the DLC we're getting, the new islands we're going to look awesome. And I like how each one's themed to a different thing. For example, the part 1, which is the Isle of Armor, which is themed to growth and learning and just building up a person and learning new things. We're in a dojo setting on this tropical island, and it just, again, looks pretty. Like, can we just say the games just look pretty? But that tree, though, I'm kidding. Don't worry about the tree. And we learned some new Pokemon Kung Fu. So we learned some Kung Fu stuff. And yeah, and I also like that, similar to the wild area in this game, it's going to be like this free roaming, turn the camera whichever way you want. It's kind of like, it's this really explorative game, and I like it. And in this one, you learn different techniques and moves for your Pokemon, at least in part 1. And you also earn a new legendary Pokemon. I'm sorry. Yes, this is the correct name. Cubfu. Yes, Cubfu. Like, puns on bear karate names are now Pokemon now. But yeah, this is a Pokemon that, when evolved into its legendary form, it can learn 2 different fighting styles. And like, one is a little more balanced and it's a little more of a dark type, but it's got this one strike move that's like super powerful. But one is a little more rapid fire move. It's like water type, and it's like faster. And so it all depends based on the style you want to use with your Pokemon, and what you do determines the legendary status. And I like that. I like this kind of idea of choice of how your Pokemon can evolve based on what you want it to be. Yeah, so the first DLC, which is the first expansion, comes out this June. I imagine that's the one we're going to be pushing E3. Like, let's be real here, coming out in June. That's like a shadow drop E3 kind of thing. The second one, which is the cool Tundra, the frozen, the chilled, the Tundra one. This one is based on exploration, and you are just exploring this vast, cold, it's like a very snowy hills level in the Galar region, and you're exploring, finding new things, finding legendaries. Like, you're going to find a legendary, and there's going to be like caves to explore. There was a little less on this one they talked about, but they definitely talked about the exploration aspect, and that is really cool. And they also said that there's going to be a new co-op feature, which you're going to go with a friend and explore like these little dens that kind of look like the Dynamax dens. So, you see, we're starting to build a connection in the story. Also, the character designs, the models, every character design they showed in this game looked really cool. I love the new outfits. There's even more customization options that are coming to the game, and this expansion pass looks really cool. I think this is a smart move for Pokemon Sword and Shield in general, because I really feel, again, I like this idea better than here's a brand new $59.99 game you gotta pay for, so you got like extra stuff. And yeah. Oh, that's something else I want to mention. The update is also going to, there's going to be a free update on Nintendo Switch where you will, basically, as long as you have the update, you can still get the Pokemon coming in from this new expansion, even if you didn't buy the expansion. So if you want to trade, so if you cheap and just want to say, hey buddy, you know, I need a trade, I'll trade you my Score Bunny for nothing, because I ain't trading Score Bunny for nothing. You don't trade Score Bunny. You want to trade your turtle, you want to trade Squirtle for Galarian Ponyta? Let's do this. Let's do this. I like that we're getting lots of good updates to this game, and also I think the most important thing, I can't believe I almost forgot to mention this, is that Pokemon are coming back. Yeah, they're adding some Pokemon from the past games and even some new ones sprinkled in there, so that way, you know, we get a little more Pokemon coming in. I like this, and also now we can finally put an end to the National Dex. Can we put an end to this? Bring back the National Dex thing? Can we just acknowledge that this is gradually coming, and sometimes Pokemon stay and go. Can we relax about this now? Can we, please? Please, because I just like this game. I want to just really like this game, and I really do like this game. In fact, I put it on my top 5 games for Nintendo Switch, which you can check on my website, link in the description. Wink. Nudge, nudge. Please go. Please just do it for me. Yeah, so overall, I think that's all the information that came from the Pokemon Direct. It's very interesting that this was the first Direct of the year. Yeah, it's clearly time to quiet down. So, yeah, it's very cool that this was the first Direct of the year. We got some really good Pokemon information. I felt it's appropriate too, because there's a lot of stuff, especially about Pokemon, that we really want to know. I do think there's another normal Direct coming up. Like, we're going to get a normal Direct coming up soon. I feel like, I don't want to be that guy to say it, but next week, because I feel like the 16th, I heard a rumor about the 16th. Don't quote me on it. Please don't quote me on it. I am not a leaker. I tried to be one. I tried once. It didn't work. It really didn't work. Anyways, so that's all for the Pokemon Direct. I thought it was a good one to start out the new year. Hopefully we'll see some more interesting stuff throughout. And yeah, so what was your favorite thing in the Pokemon Direct? What are you excited for? What are you not excited for? Do you think expansion passes for Pokemon are a good idea? Do you think they should have done the buy a separate cartridge thing? Personally, I say no, but I am just one person. Clearly, I'm just a man talking about Pokemon in a Power Ranger shirt. Don't judge me. God, okay. Oh, gosh. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. For more fun Nintendo content like this, go to ntgamepoint.weebly.com, because that's where the fun is, question mark. If you like this content for some reason, and if you like me for some reason, which I will not dispute, don't be afraid to give a like, leave a comment, and smash that subscribe button, because hey, I want to keep doing this. Doesn't matter what's in my way. Yes, it does. I'm kidding. I like doing this, I think. When I say I think, like there's someone in the corner, like with a gun, keep doing this. Okay, I rambled on long enough. Thank you guys for watching. For more fun content like this, stay tuned to Nintendo Game Point Plus. I'll see you guys later. Take care.